So we're going to record it, the session today, the program today, so we can then make this available to our chamber members at another time. Good afternoon to all those that are joining us live, and hello to those that are watching the recording. My name is Tracy DiMaria. My pronouns are she, her. I am the very proud Executive Director of the Mid-America LGBT Chamber of Commerce. We are incredibly fortunate to be joined today by Shiri. She's going to be talking to us. She is a member of one of the KC Media Collective, and she's going to be talking us through some of the work that they've been doing. The Chamber, the Policy Advocacy Committee, have been doing some important work to gather information for our Chamber members to be informed leading up to the voting here in November. We, the Chamber, have created a page on our website with important voting information, not just provided by the KC Media Collective, also by the League of Women Voters and by Promo Pack. I'm going to share my page, our webpage, very briefly, so you can see on our webpage where that information is before I hand over to Shiri. So let me just share with you. Joy, can you just confirm you can see our webpage? Great, thank you. So this is our homepage, our webpage. We've created a direct link to voter resources. Our latest magazine that we created has an article in there about voter resources and Be Informed, where you can go to register to vote, where the voter resources are. This is the information that Shiri is going to talk to us a little bit about in a moment, the KC Media Collective and the important work that they've been taking on, the League of Women Voters and the work that they've done. In particular, they have on their website a link to a ballot, a sample ballot, and you can actually fill in your address and your zip code, and an actual sample ballot will be created for you, relevant with the names that will appear on the relevant ballot, that will be relevant to your zip code and your address. So that's a great resource for you there on the League of Women Voters site, and Promo Pack have got some exceptional information on their website. So just to let you know that we have details on the Chamber website and resources that are worth looking at. So I am, like I say, I'm absolutely thrilled today to be joined by Shiri. I'm going to pass it now over to you. If you need me to go back and share my screen, please let me know. If not, I'm going to mute myself. Just to let everybody know, so we're here today to, it's an information session. It's a very informative session. If you have questions, those that are live, please either raise your hand or put them in the chat box. This is a interactive forum. This is not a forum for us to share our political views. This is not a time nor a place for us to say who we're voting for and why we're voting for them and who we're not voting for. But we are incredibly open to questions, to feedback for Shiri and the work she's been doing. But like I say, it's not a time to debate. So Shiri, on that note, over to you.
Thank you, Tracy. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone who's watching the recorded version. My name is Shiri Asangwe, and I serve as the project manager for the Kansas City Media Collective. The Kansas City Media Collective is an ensemble of nonprofit media organizations based in Kansas City, 6 organizations specifically, and it's been around for about 2 or 3 years now, and essentially is working together and collaborating together to reduce redundancy in our local media, to emphasize the importance of local media, and to make information more accessible. So all of these nonprofits don't have a paywall, so all of their information and the resources that they have to share, voter guide and election guide included, is always available. The project that we're speaking about today specifically is the Kansas City Voter Guide 2024. And what this is a comprehensive resource of the races, candidates, and ballot measures across the 5 counties that, for the most part, make up the metro. So that's going to be Clay, Jackson, Johnson, Platte, and Wyandotte County. And we have well over 100 races that our reporters have covered. The Media Collective collaborated with the Kansas City Star. I'm sure you all are familiar with the Kansas City Star. So it's been a very collaborative project, and we've been doing this for about 8 months now. So our primaries just passed. Our website is being updated for the general, and lots of work has been done. Over 75 people came together to make this happen. We had over 40 reporters, editors, designers, web development, all sorts of people really just putting extra time and effort to making this resource available. Happy to share it with you all. I don't know, Tracy, if you want me to go into like showing everyone the website, what that looks like, or if we have any questions just right off the bat. I'm project manager, project lead, so kind of been here since the very beginning and can answer most, if not all, questions.
I've just put a link to the website in the chat box. I think what I found most interesting, Shiri, is the fact that this guide in particular was generated by 40 plus journalists. This wasn't just questionnaires that went out to the legislator. This was journalists. So can you speak a little bit about the background of the journalists, or how they went about this? And this wasn't just a few questions and, you know, people just answering and responding. This was actual boots on the ground going out and doing the work.
1000%. So our editors, when we came together in January, were really trying to strategize a way to communicate very effectively and clearly in a concise manner who the candidates were to kind of like the average voter. Like, you know, not trying to use too much political jargon or, you know, be too biased. The guide is nonpartisan, so really just informative for the users. And we decided that we were going to have a word count. Like, if, you know, we provided a bit of a template to the reporters and asked them, you know, to use their skills and their expertise. These are all reporters that work within the organizations. Use their skills and experts, and to go find that information, and to, you know, do some sort of summary on who this candidate is, what are their policies, who are their endorsements, you know, things of that sort. Information that, you know, the average voter from Wyandotte County who, you know, maybe doesn't have a political science degree, or, you know, can understand who this person is and why it's important to vote for them, or why they may not want to vote for them. So that's really what it was, and our reporters went far and wide to get that information. I mean, if they could reach out to the candidates and get some sort of interview with the candidates, they would. If all they had was a Facebook page and some comments, that's what they did. You know, website pages, using basically every resource that is available the way a typical journalist would. And then those things were filtered and, you know, copy edited before they were put on our website.
And did you have difficulties getting hold of any candidates, or were any candidates saying, listen, we're not going to talk to you, or were most accessible?
In terms of the details of that, I don't know, because I was overseeing everything. So it's like, you know, and we had reporters from all different organizations. So I may not know exactly what the process was, but I do know that a lot of candidates, it was hard to reach most candidates.
Yeah.
You know, the political climate, it's been hard to kind of get that one-on-one with a candidate and kind of get unbiased, you know, information. So a lot of our reporters did rely on their website, relied on, you know, interviews they did, debates they did, you know, things, their endorsements, the kind of information that would be available on the voter guide website. And in the print version, you know, our users are going to be able to go, and if they want to like fact check, they're like, this is where we got this information. You know, this person didn't have a website, they just had a Facebook page. Here's their Facebook page. You know, just to kind of, you know, bring some clarity and just bring some insight into what that process is, because again, it really is nonpartisan. We really just wanted to provide clear, concise information for voters to be able to make an informed decision.
Yeah. And I've looked through the guide. So let me show you. If you want to share your screen and talk us through the guide, that would be ideal, because I've looked through it. I found that most of the candidates, you did actually cover it. There were things on most of the candidates. So yeah, if you want to share, talk us through, that would be great.
Yeah, so let me just take us to the web page. So our website is called kcvoterguide2024.org, or kcur/kcvoterguide2024.org. Everyone can see my screen. Yes, I can't see you all, but I trust that you all can see my screen. This is basically the homepage, and you'll immediately see that our voter guide is available in both English and Spanish. That was a huge priority for this project, knowing that, you know, Spanish is one of the more dominant languages in the in the region, in the metropolitan outside of English. So definitely wanted to make it accessible in that regard. Everything in the voter guide is in Spanish as well as English, and all of our pages, and we were able to do that partnership with RevEd. So very, very, very happy to do that and be inclusive in that way. Now, if we were to kind of focus on, well, let me backtrack. So our voter guide covers 5 counties, and those counties are Clay, Jackson, Johnson, Platte, and Wyandotte counties. Those counties are across 2 different states, as the Kansas City region is, Missouri and Kansas. So on the Missouri side, we have the voter guide split up in our like federal races, statewide races, Senate, House, and then a couple, let me go down, a couple county races here. Same thing with the Kansas side. I'm happy to click on, we can just go to maybe something, we can go to Missouri Senate District 11. I'm gonna go ahead and click on it. Now, the voter guide has been updated and is still in the process of being updated for the general election. For the primaries, I'm sure this was pretty, packed with all of the different candidates. Since the primaries have since been over and results have come out, it has been updated. So on the like race page, you'll find information about, the candidates, what district it is, what region it covers, who is running, and then kind of what this role is. So the state senators serve 4-year terms. It goes into, I think each race is a little different, whether Democrats or Republicans are first. I don't think it was much of a priority. I think it just kind of happened that way. But this is an example of a candidate summary. So Robert South gives a political bio, so just kind of what has been his history in politics. Currently he currently represents the Eastern Independents in the Missouri House, a position that he's held since 2018. Before that, he worked as Jackson County prosecuting attorney and public defender. Sowell says that he's the only Democrat in Missouri to win in an election district won by former President Donald Trump. So just very concise and very like, okay, this is who this person is. This is what they did. I understand. And it's there in English as well. Looking into policy positions, again, our reporters were gathering information from everywhere. So this quote could have been, or this paraphrase could have been from an interview that Robert Sowell did, or it could have been from a written piece that he did. I am not 100% sure, just because we had so many races and so many reporters. So there's no possible way that I can know all those details. But I do know kind of the process in making these things happen, making these summaries come to life. So this policy position says Saul says he's interested in protecting workers and expanding the middle class in Missouri. During the 2024 legislative session, Saul sponsored a bill protecting in vitro fertilization procedures. He also sponsored a bill to eliminate local sales taxes on food purchases. He has been critical of the independent school district moving to a 4-day week and supported legislation requiring voters to weigh in on the issue before the district shortened the school week. Again, very simple, very concise, straight to the point, gives you an idea of who this candidate is, what their priorities are, what they have done, how they exercise the powers that they have had. And then also we provide, whatever additional information that could be helpful. So right beneath this is linked to the candidate website. Now, I can't see you guys. I'm not able to read any facial expressions or see if there's any questions. I'm going to try and go back over here. But what do we think? Any questions? I get see a thumbs up. That makes me happy.
I've got a thumbs up. I've got no questions so far. So I have a quick question for, and poor old Joy who works with me knows I'm always full of questions. So do we know? So have we heard from any of the candidates? Has anybody pushed back and said, actually, I didn't say that, or that's a lie, or I am not agreeing with that? Have you heard of anybody that's read any of this and that is not agreeing with this?
No, I haven't heard, I haven't heard that kind of feedback. I think the kind of feedback that we've gotten from candidates or, whoever's in their camp is, I know we got some feedback was, oh, it was a doctorate and not a master's. So it's like little things like that, or, oh, it was, the university, not the college, things like that. There has been no, I don't like the way that, you spoke about me, or I didn't say that. I definitely, and it speaks to the work of the reporters. Everything has been quite accurate. Everything has been quite concise. So that is, just a big shout out to our reporters and their and their expertise.
And so you've got all the details on that page. So going back up to the top again, do we show which reporter wrote which bio, or do we not?
Yes.
Okay.
So this it says here, this is Salisa Kalakau.
Got it.
So she covered this race. So all of these candidates she covered. I'm sure for the primary there may have been more. And just to give some more insight at this juncture into what the process was of putting this together. So we had a partnership with Kansas City Star. The Kansas City Star put a good amount of reporters in addition to our reporters across our 5 newsrooms and just 6 organizations. And we had a sign-up sheet. Like we went and we found all the races across the counties, all the ones that we knew about, and we created a sign-up sheet and basically said, hey, this is the 2 or 3 day sign-up period. Please choose 3 races. And we had a couple reporters who were maybe more well-versed in those state races, and maybe they leaned towards that. But for the most part, we tried to make it as fair as possible, make it 3 across the board. And then we provided a template, and we had deadlines, do your research, submit this, and then we had an editing process, and then we have an overall editing process, and then we went and got it translated, and all of this was done before it went on the website.
Right.
So lots of steps, but it was very collaborative, and that word, I feel like I've used it so much.
No, it's important. No, it's important.
It really was. Our the Kansas City Media Collective, we are like organizational structure. We do committees. We have committees, and I oversee those committees. So our content committee is a team of editors and kind of leaders in the content in their respective organizations, and they were really coming together and say, hey, I think here's how we can do this better, here's how we can improve here, or let me help you out in this way, like I have a little bit more capacity or I have less capacity. So just really communicative in that way, and just meshed really well, especially over these last 8 months. And with the deadlines of the different races and when information was available, there were a lot of crunch times that was out of our control. So being able to work well under that pressure was also just a testament to everyone's commitment to getting this resource out.
And it shows. I mean, I've read it. It really does show. So quick question, not quick question, but a question.
Yes.
Might have missed this, but will the ballot initiative be addressed in the guide?
The ballot initiative, yes, not the frustration, but they have to be certified by the Secretary of State. So it's really a matter of, once they are certified, then we have official language that now we can provide our readers. So for the primaries, we were able to provide like those amendments and kind of like also explain, hey, what does a yes mean or what does a no mean? Because I know that can get really confusing for myself as a voter. Like I'm like, I don't understand. Like yes means no, no means yes. I have no idea. So our reporters, like we had select reporters who went and explained those issues, and we have ballot initiatives for the general election, but all of those haven't been certified yet. So what's on the website is also, dependent on what is available, seen as to how, this is like a civic duty. So definitely don't want to give people the wrong information or be too presumptuous in what is going to be available.
So the website is organic. It's going to be updated. This guide is what's going to be on there is constantly being updated when you know more.
Yes, it is living and breathing. Like, we gotta edit, like, oh, like I said, like it was a doctor and not a master's. All right, 5 seconds later, we went ahead and edited it. So it is a very active website.
So is that similar with the 40 plus journalists that are out there? Are they continuing to go out and gain more information on the candidates and adding that as well?
Depending on what that information is, I guess if it's something that's more like substantive, if it's more something that's substantial, then maybe if there's a new link or if there's an updated website, we will go and edit that. But again, just trying to be really mindful of keeping it unbiased, keeping it nonpartisan, and not wanting to give too many edits that would sway anyone one way. So our summaries were from the beginning supposed to be very concise, supposed to be very straightforward. So any edits or any revisions or any updates have to be major updates that are beneficial first and foremost to the user. So if it's something that, you know, a voter would need to know that helps them make a better informed decision and, you know, have a better understanding of who this candidate is, then we can go and make those revisions. But like anything else, it's very, it's like, you know, we don't know.
Got it. So if there's a shift on policy or there's a comment on something large, that would go on there. But other than that, this is candidate-wise, this is where it sits.
Yeah, like, you know, if it's like instead of going to Target, I like going to Walmart. It's like, okay, well,
Right.
you know, did Walmart endorse you versus Target? You know, just how relevant and necessary is
like that? That's a great way of describing it. So what other things on the guide would you like to share with us?
Yeah, let me go to that. I think so the guide is really the races, you know, being able to use the races. I know for the primary elections, I use this as a cheat sheet. I was literally in the polls on my phone when the questions, you know, about the race came up. I would just go to Missouri District, you know, 19 and like, okay, who is this person? All right, I get it. Let me see if I want to vote for them. Let me see if I don't want to vote for them. So that is like, you know, just the value of this resource. And I also think in terms of just voter information, definitely, so like how to vote if someone's not registered, there's that information that I believe your website also shares, and like getting registered, creating a sample ballot, whether it be through the Secretary of State, whether it be through League of Women Voters. So this website houses information that takes you to those places. So I'm from the Missouri side, so I'm just like, you know, default Missouri. So how to vote in Missouri gives you information about, you know, where can you register? How do you check your registration? How do you find your polling place? What kind of ID do you need to bring? And things of that sort. And again, the website is living and breathing. So I know there's, you know, hopes and desires to make information more available for like students. You know, we have a lot of universities and colleges in Kansas City. So, you know, as a student who is, you know, maybe not from here, but you still want to participate in your you know, your left or right, your civic duty, you know, what does that look like? What does it look like as an absentee vote, even if it's not going towards Kansas City? So I think those are like the ideas and how we can just make this more user friendly. In addition to that, we can learn about this guide. Like, you know, everything that I'm saying more or less is also on the website. So what about the Kansas City voter guide? Like, how did it come together? Who is helping fund it? And, you know, when is it available? We are going to have a print product, and our print product is going to be ready for the general election a couple weeks before. So getting that into circulation and really just trying to make this product and this resource as accessible as possible. All types of questions in here. And then if you want to know specifically, we talked a lot about the reporters. So we have a contributors page, and this just goes into all of the different reporters who worked on the guide, all of the editors, everyone who helped with marketing, our design, everyone who helped with our community engagement, you know, taking us to get tabling. What I'm doing right now, community engagement, helping inform all of our communities, you know, that we have this resource available, our executive community, our researchers, our translators, and then there's little old me by myself there for project management. So definitely it gives you a great overview of the project and something, you know, we hope we're able to do again for another election season.
I found about the guide and the background to it really, really helpful, because it just does underpin the transparency to it, and the fact that it is nonpartisan, and the fact that it has come from a place of collaboration. And I really enjoyed reading that. And it's just inspiring. It's inspiring that all of these entities had come together. Any other questions from anybody online? Shiri, anything else to share with us that would be helpful at this stage?
I think the biggest thing is just knowing that this is really a community effort. You know, voting is something, you know, should you have the ability to, you should exercise, right? So we're definitely as a collective, the media collective, in addition to STAR and Ref Ed, we want everyone to take a piece of this and to share it out. You know, we want this to be something that is for the Kansas City voters. We have media outlets, you know, in different parts of Kansas who are even, you know, trying to partner with us and use our content because we're covering state races, and just really want to see that collaborative effort and take that initiative, especially in the political sphere. You know, just because it's imperative, it's important, and that's really what I like. Anyone on here, if you have any sort of community, any sort of audience, feel free to share this out. Like, feel free to make this something that is your own, something that you can be proud of, because all of this is, it's just, we've just given out the work, Organizations that are already small, already understaffed, have increased capacity to make this resource available. So it's wonderful. I'm in a hotel room, so I'm like, who's knocking on my door?
Well, Shiri, thank you so much for your time. We're going to be donating, the Chamber will be donating to this such important service. And so thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody to join us. We really, really appreciate it. And we'll be, like I said, we've recorded it, so we're gonna make sure that we share the recording. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And stay safe, and we will see everybody soon. Shiri, thank you again.
Thank you, everyone. Again, if you have any questions, I can drop my email in here. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to always hop on a call, always give more information. I can't pull up right now because I'm out of the country, but next week, if you need me to come to something, I'm more than happy to. So
and I'm going to share this. I'm certainly going to share this detail with the other chambers, especially with the Hispanic chamber. I'm sure Carlos will be very interested in this guide to share with his members. And like I say, we'll be donating to the KC voter guide. So yeah, if you want to pop it in the chat box, Shiri, that would be ideal.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I didn't see these questions. Thank you, John. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend, and we'll see you all soon.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye.
Stop sharing my screen.